Ahead on NewsWatch, the former leader of Cuba is dead. We'll break down what's ahead for the island nation and what Fidel Castro's death could mean for the church in Cuba. Plus, fire in Israel. See why officials believe arsonists are targeting the Holy Land. And you won't believe how many children this family adopted. Why they say everyone can do a little something to help create a world without orphans. And thank you for joining us for CBN NewsWatch. I'm Ephraim Graham. The Cuban government has banned public drinking, music, and dancing for 9 days to honor the country's former leader, Fidel Castro, who died Friday at age 90. Dale Hurd is on the story.
Fidel Castro is proving to be as divisive in death as he was in life, dividing the world over exactly what he was. Leftist Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau was lampooned on social media for calling the brutal communist dictator a remarkable leader who served his people. Irish President Michael Higgins was criticized for calling Castro a giant who was for freedom and the oppressed. And the Washington Post called Castro a spiritual beacon before reportedly changing the headline to political beacon.
The road to Havana paved with glory for rebel chieftain Fidel Castro.
Fidel Castro came to power promising a socialist utopia. He created an impoverished island nation. Before Castro, Cuba had one of the higher living standards in the world. After Castro, it is one of the world's poorest, most oppressed nations. On the streets of Havana Sunday, it was eerily quiet. In Miami, the city built by Cuban exiles, exuberance. During his decades in power, Fidel Castro was a source of suffering for millions, sending his opponents to prison or to their deaths, forcing Cubans into exile and separating families. And Cubans in Miami know another Castro is still in power. Raul Castro, Fidel's younger brother and president, has been running the country since at least 2008.
Raul Castro has things in place. The repression continues. The lack of freedom continues. So no, it won't be an overnight thing at all.
After Raul, the heir apparent is 56-year-old Miguel Diaz-Canel, a Castro loyalist with the public image of a humorless bureaucrat. What's next in U.S.-Cuba relations? President Obama worked for closer diplomatic ties, but that's a move President-elect Donald Trump seems likely to change.
We will cancel Obama's one-sided Cuban deal made by executive order if we do not get the deal we want and the deal that people living in Cuba and here deserve.
Trump, in a statement, called Castro a brutal dictator who oppressed his own people for nearly 6 decades. Fidel Castro's legacy is one of firing squads, theft, unimaginable suffering, poverty, and the denial of fundamental human rights. In his statement, President Obama avoided praising the dictator, simply saying that history will judge. Dale Hurd, CBN News.
Many observers are wondering what Castro's death might mean for the Cuban church. As Heather Sells reports, there's hope it will pave the way for greater freedoms. But there is also fear that the new Trump administration will roll back travel restrictions with the United States.
In recent years, Cuban churches have become known for incredible growth in the midst of poverty and an oppressive regime. Pastor Nestor is typical. He lives in a 2-room apartment with his wife. His church meets in a classroom-sized room where the congregation overflows.
One of the things that has made us grow in faith has been the limitations and the difficulties.
In response to building restrictions, Cuban Baptists and Assemblies of God churches have seen house churches take off. And in the midst of scarce resources, a hunger for the gospel is evident across the island. It's why churches typically pack out on Sunday mornings.
People here don't care how comfortable they are. They could be exhausted from working all day and they will sit on a bag of rocks, a stitched-up chair, or stand the whole service, and they're okay with that.
Under the presidency of Raul Castro, restrictions on churches have relaxed slightly. They can now more easily hold public events and evangelize. Cuban exile and humanitarian Teo Baboon says Fidel Castro's death could open up more opportunities, noting that the dictator crushed religious freedom. Castro was known for exiling believers and banning public displays of faith. His brother, Raul, is known more for his pragmatism and is considered less antagonistic towards the church.
We hope that the Cuban government feels freer to move more progressively towards religious freedoms.
But there's also fear that Raul Castro could roll back some of the new freedoms to prevent anyone from taking advantage of his brother's death. And there's concern that under the new Trump administration, travel to Cuba will tighten up again. That could slow down a growing partnership between U.S. and Cuban churches. Southern Baptist missions expert Jason Carlisle says improved U.S. relations with Cuba have encouraged missions.
Any leader who's excited, who's trying to find where to be involved in the world or how to take his church to an exciting piece of Christianity, they think of Cuba.
For now, Cuban pastors and U.S. mission leaders are cautious and yet optimistic, as the Cuban church has already proved that it can not only survive but flourish under tough conditions. Heather Sells, CBN News.
Wisconsin election officials are meeting to talk about a possible recount of the state's presidential election. Green Party candidate Jill Stein made the request for the recount, as well as in Pennsylvania and Michigan. The move has the support of Hillary Clinton. Trump reacted by saying millions voted illegally and is calling those who want to recount, quote, crybabies. And he says the voting system is, quote, rigged. Mitt Romney is still on Donald Trump's list for Secretary of State, but some of his closest advisors, like Kellyanne Conway, are not happy with the choice.
He went out of his way to hurt Donald Trump. He gave 2 speeches that I can recall in this calendar year, and they were both about Donald Trump.
Donald Trump is a phony.
Conway's opposition to Romney is also said to be supported by Steve Bannon, the controversial conservative media executive who will serve as Trump's White House senior advisor. Trump held a private meeting with Romney to discuss the possibility of joining his administration. Trump is also considering retired Marine General John Kelly and former New York City Mayor Rudy Giuliani for that position. For nearly a week, major fires have spread across Israel. Police officials tell CBN News arson contributed to a majority of those blazes. As Chris Mitchell reports from Jerusalem, help has come from a number of countries and organizations, including CBN's own Operation Blessing International.
The scope of the fires has been enormous, with more than 75,000 Israelis evacuated from their homes. The fires have destroyed nearly 1,000 dwellings and scorched more than 10,000 acres.
These are the most severe fires that have taken place across the country in 4 major areas.
Israel police spokesman Mickey Rosenfeld said Haifa was hardest hit,
which altogether was a total of 6 fires that almost took place simultaneously in the city of Haifa. And therefore it was suspicious the way the fires began, which led us to believe and led us to carry out operations and find altogether more than 23 suspects that were involved in fires, not just in Haifa but also across Israel as well.
This surveillance footage shows one arsonist caught in the act. Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu labeled many of the fires ravaging Israel arson terrorism. Police say 3 of the 4 major fires were deliberately set. Arab social media played a big part.
This is a phase which is unfortunately ignited some of the fires. We've seen suspects that have been active on social media putting out information, calling upon others to carry out and start fires.
But several countries sent firefighting planes and equipment to douse the flames, while other organizations helped the people who suffered on the ground.
Every time there is an emergency, there's some gaps, like small holes that we can fit in and help the families.
Diego Traverso directs Operation Blessing Israel.
In those small gaps, we were able to provide blankets, some shoes. Today, actually, we're heading there again and distributing some food packages for the families.
Traverso says the fires surprised many families.
They were really devastated. They didn't want to talk, and they were just sitting down, going through, some old pictures, burned books, all your memories. It's like you don't have any time to escape. So it was like, In a matter of seconds even, the house got on fire because the winds were so strong.
Traverso says their aim is to help.
We're here to serve the community. No matter if you are Christian, Muslim, Jewish, if you're a human being and you're in need, you're our brother and we want to help you.
Chris Mitchell, CBN News, Jerusalem.
Coming up, parents of 32 children. Hear how they and others across the globe are on a mission to create a world without orphans. An estimated 8 million children worldwide are living in orphanages, and some Christians are saying enough is enough. They're leading a movement to put these children in safe, stable, and nurturing families. George Thomas has more on this vision to create a world without orphans.
Gennady Mokhnenko is on a mission.
The statistics show that if 1 or 2 Christian families will take 1 orphan, we will have a world without orphans.
Mokhnenko is a pastor from eastern Ukraine. Back in 1998, he saw firsthand the plight of children living on the streets and in orphanages in his hometown of Mariupol.
I just didn't know how I could have left them on the streets. When I saw their eyes, I understood the Father's heart of God. It was a crazy idea, but I knew we had to do something.
What he and his wife Lena did was remarkable. Over 18 years, they've become parents to 32 children. That's right, 32. Most are adopted.
My adopted children were living on the streets. Some of them were as young as 4 and 5. Some as young as 2. But we knew if we didn't take them off the streets, most of them would be dead or in prison.
Today, the Mokhnenkos run the largest rehabilitation program for street youth in Ukraine.
Nobody needs to adopt 32 children like we did. My family is not the norm. But I strongly believe there are enough Christian families in the world who can adopt 1, maybe 2, and then there will not be any orphans left in this world.
Mokhnenko took that message to Chiang Mai, Thailand, where 450 key orphan care leaders met for the first ever global forum for a world without orphans.
This is serious.
Ruslan Maluta helped organize the gathering.
Our purpose is very simple. It's to activate, connect, and equip the body of Christ toward this vision of every child having a permanent, nurturing, and safe families.
Maluta believes churches and Christian organizations have to change their approach from investing in orphanages to investing in families.
It's not easy. You cannot just close an orphanage. The message is not let's close all institutions. That would actually be a wrong idea. We need to change the way people think first.
Craig Greenfield works among vulnerable children in Asia. He says the change has to start with faith-based groups.
Unfortunately, it is still Christian missions and Christian organizations that are perpetuating this model of orphanages. Large secular development organizations, they have not supported or done orphanages for many, many years.
The change is happening, albeit slowly, says Rebecca Nape, who works with a network of Australian churches helping strengthen children's rights to a family.
There is a growing awareness taking place within the church that this actually isn't the best way to care for children, and that a lot of the children being cared for in orphanages or other types of residential care aren't actually orphans. They're children with families, they're children with parents. They're there for reasons such as poverty, disability, or access to education.
But this paradigm shift is not without its critics. Here in Chiang Mai, in the northern part of Thailand, home to roughly about 1.6 million people, there are 600 private orphanages, and many of them, like this one, are run by Christians.
I grew up in an orphanage as well, so my desire is to take care of orphaned children.
Manop Chow Chalern runs Bandak Deed Children's Home. His family was too poor, so they sent him away.
Since there was no school in my village, my parents sent me to an orphanage where I was able to get an education.
He admits it wasn't ideal. Now he and his wife tried to create a family-like atmosphere for the 30 children they care for. He says they only take those who are truly orphaned.
The truth is, children should live with their family. But if that can't happen, for whatever reason, there has to be places like this that can be another choice for them.
Back at the forum, participants from 60 countries attended workshops and seminars on raising awareness of family and community-based care. Several speakers addressed the forum, including our very own 700 Club co-host Terry Mewson, a mother of 7, 5 who are adopted.
1. You're welcome. That was good English.
Mewson started Orphans Promise in 2005. She learned early on that building and filling an orphanage wasn't always the best thing to do.
People, I think, still come to me sometimes and say, well, I'd like to build an orphanage. Can we do that through Orphans Promise? And we say, well, you can help us build families and you can help us help children, but we're not really building orphanages. And the orphanages that exist, we're helping to change how they think and feel into that family pod mode.
Orphans Promise works in 60 countries.
So, Eliona, how many ways can we prepare potatoes?
I told you she was resourceful.
Mewson says while this new shift doesn't always guarantee that children will have healthy families to go back to, it's important that the body of Christ steps in to fill the gaps.
Let's step up as the people of God in whatever culture we're in, and let's take those children into a family settings. Let's help them find wholeness so that we're creating a world of healthy families.
Maluta is excited to see more and more people embrace this new mindset of orphan care.
Here is the great part about this vision, that not everyone can adopt, not everyone can foster, not everyone can even engage in a substantial way in some sort of program, but everyone can do something. Everyone can be advocate, everyone can pray, everyone can champion, and anyone who spent even some time in this field knows that it's a long and complicated process, but we have to start somewhere.
The forum, he says, is a new phase of that long and difficult journey toward a world without orphans. George Thomas, CBN News, Chiang Mai, Thailand.
Up next, an ancient Chinese tradition is changing while the next generation is picking up the coffee habit instead of tea. Tea drinking has been a tradition in China for thousands of years, but lately more Chinese are turning to a different drink, coffee. And it looks like coffee is about to take the nation by storm. Meng Fai Li has the story.
Tea is steeped in the culture of many Asian countries, especially like China. For more than 5,000 years, generation after generation, tea has been an important part of Chinese culture. Today, in big cities such as Beijing and Shanghai, coffee shops can now be seen on nearly every major street corner. These shops are not just selling drinks. For many Chinese millennials, socializing on coffee shop couches is a new way of enjoying life.
I normally stay at the coffee shop. While I drink coffee, I enjoy the quietness here. It's a good way to take a break from all the noises. I can read my book without interruption.
Many young Chinese people drink coffee socially when meeting with friends. In fact, many foreign coffee companies have already figured out creative ways to attract more Chinese consumers. The shops are uniquely designed, combining coffee with traditional Chinese cultural decor. In 2010, Starbucks dominated Chinese coffee sales with a 66% market share. According to one report, people in China drank roughly 45,000 tons of coffee in 2006. Some analysts predict the number could reach 300,000 tons annually by 2020. Coffee is still a relative new beverage of choice for China's tea-drinking population. Sweet milky coffee drinks like mocha and lattes are the most popular. Local coffee shop owners say while young people enjoy the aroma and flavor of coffee, they also know it has health benefits.
Younger coffee drinkers today know a lot more about coffee. It looks like Chinese medicines are facing challenges from the Western drinks.
Older Chinese and herbal medicine practitioners find the new coffee trend hard to accept.
Chinese acupuncture and tea have a longer history than coffee. You will never see a Chinese hospital using coffee to cure their patients. Those traditions are irreplaceable. Coffee is just a new drink.
While the coffee industry is blooming in China, some Chinese tea drinkers are certain traditional Chinese culture will never be replaced, and they believe their culture must be honored and preserved.
Even though we have many coffee shops, coffee is still foreign to us today. Our tea tradition is an important value of the Chinese people. Foreign culture will never understand this important concept.
Most of the coffee consumed in China comes from South and Central American countries. However, this may change. Some coffee producers in southern China will soon be growing their own high-quality beans. Still to be seen is if coffee-drinking millennials will transform this deep-rooted tea-drinking country into one of the world's largest coffee-consuming nations. Mengfei Li, CBN News.
It is time now for your Monday motivation, so consider this as you go through the day and even throughout your life. God has made room in your journey for the stops, detours, and delays that you think are derailing your destiny. So do not panic in those moments of frustration. Instead, rest knowing what God has for you is for you. And if you trust Him, He will work it all out for your good. And that's a promise straight from His word to your heart. Well, that is going to do it for this edition of CBN NewsWatch. Thank you so much for joining us. Remember, you can find more of our exclusive coverage of the issues you care most about, and you can always find it at cbnnews.com. And when you can, take the time to tell us what you think about the stories you've seen here today. Remember, you can always do that on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram. We hope you'll join us right here again. Be sure to make this a marvelous Monday. We'll see you right back here come Tuesday. Bye-bye.